Well, hi everyone. I'm Angie, and I'm here in the fastest growing town in Canada with a man who likely needs no introduction to many of you, Mayor Bruce Evans. First elected in 2006, is that right?
That's correct,
Not
yes.
who's counting though.
Exactly, yeah.
So what do residents have to look for and look forward to in this 2018?
2018, we have identified some key priorities, one of which is improving the recreational opportunities for this community and being as transparent and communicative as we can be so that people know what it is that their council is doing on their behalf.
That's why we're doing this, right?
Exactly. So for 2018, we have introduced some major new initiatives in the realm of recreation. We have two new rinks that are being flooded actually as we speak. That's as a direct result of input that we've had from our residents saying that we have a very young population and lots of young kids who are not all hockey players, and we need to have some spots for them to go out and play shinny or ringette or just go skating. So we now have two new skating rinks that are being created this year, and we've just recently improved our baseball diamonds. We have new recreation facilities planned. And frankly, none of that would be possible without the growth that we have experienced over the last number of years. So that's one of the major priorities of this budget.
Now I got to ask you something that no one really likes to talk about, or no one really likes, especially a politician doesn't like to talk about, a tax increase.
Sure.
Now that is part of the interim budget. Talk to me about the tax increase. What can people expect, and how does it relate to what they've known in the last several years?
Yeah, well, we're kind of proud to say that we are the lowest taxed municipal jurisdiction in the region, and we will remain so after this budget is passed. And it has not been a budget that hasn't had its controversy and debate, which is exactly what councils are elected to do. We have arrived at an interim budget increase that is just around inflation at 3%, and it is in fact lower than I think you'll find in all of the neighboring jurisdictions. Our goal is to continue to provide the best quality services in the region and also maintain the lowest taxes in the region.
And how the heck do you do that? How do you grow but yet keep taxes low?
Well, we're very careful with how we deliver services. We're proud of the fact that every street in this entire community is plowed every time it snows. Not every municipality can make that claim. We contract out a lot of our services with private contractors like Loras that does our garbage collection and recycling. We have a volunteer fire department. We contract with the RCMP for policing. So we try to maintain a very lean employee base, and those folks manage a lot of contracts with independent third-party delivery.
Now, something I've heard people talking about around here quite a lot, but for those not watching, what is the town center? What's happening there? What are people going to see in that area come 2018? Are we going to start to see some changes there?
Yes, you are. White City started out and maintains its reputation as being a large lot country residential style community, and we try to maintain the idea that people who've moved out here are looking at something where density is lower and you have more open space. Having said that, there are two demographics that are not well served by that type of housing. One is first-time home buyers, and some folks who want to rent a facility or a home, and people at the other end of the demographic who don't need that big house anymore because the kids have grown up and moved away. So the town center is being designed to address both those shortfalls in our housing stock, and also provide us with our own shopping and retail center. And our plans include having a new high school constructed in the community. Along with that high school, we plan to have a major joint use recreation facility. So the town center is really a plan to close the loop, if you will, in terms of all of the housing demands that people have throughout their life.
So Bruce, as the fastest growing town in Canada, and the growth continues here, are we at risk of losing the whole reason people love living here in the first place, and the whole reason people want to move here is that small town feel?
Yeah.
So how do you hang on to that?
That is probably the biggest challenge as we continue to grow. Density is a major part of that, and it's always a challenge because when folks move out here, they are anxious to get here, and as soon as they get here, they often say, "Now close the door behind me, I don't want anybody else." And of course, not every person feels that way, but every new subdivision brings some of that with it. The answer to that question, frankly, is without the growth, we would not be able to provide the services like the recreation facilities. We wouldn't be able to keep our taxes as low as they are, and we would not be able to provide the quality of life that people who've moved here expect. So it's a challenge, but it's one that we feel we can meet.
What's your dream for this community?
My dream is that my grandchildren can grow up and raise their children in this community. I believe that it's something that every mayor should aspire to, and certainly that's my dream.
Yeah, well, thank you. And if anybody has more curiosity about this interim budget and what's coming up in 2018, you can check out the website, whitecity.ca, and find out more information. And thank you, Mayor Evans. And thank you, everybody.
My pleasure.
Mine too.